Padme stood at the window of her apartment, staring out at the endless lights of Coruscant. Something was wrong. She could feel it in her bones. Anakin had been different lately. Distant. Haunted. He wouldn't meet her eyes when she asked him what troubled him. And tonight, when he thought she was asleep, he slipped out without a word. She couldn't ignore it any longer. Throwing on her cloak, Padme followed him into the night. She kept her distance, moving through the shadows of the Senate district. Her heart pounded as Anakin made his way toward the Chancellor's office. Why would he go there at this hour? The corridors of the Senate building were empty. Only the hum of distant machinery filled the silence. Padme pressed herself against the wall as Anakin approached the towering doors of Palpatine's office. He hesitated, just for a moment. His hand hovered over the door panel. Then he entered. Padme's breath caught in her throat. She crept closer, every instinct screaming at her to turn back. But she couldn't. Not now. She reached the door and found it slightly ajar. Through the narrow gap, she could see Anakin standing in the center of the room. And there, seated calmly behind his desk, was Chancellor Palpatine. But something was off. The air felt thick. Electric. Dangerous. Palpatine's voice was soft, almost fatherly. "I've been waiting for you, Anakin." Padme's pulse quickened. Waiting for him? Why? Anakin's voice trembled. "You said you could help me save her." Palpatine smiled, a cold, knowing smile. "And I will, my boy. But first, you must understand the truth." Padme's blood turned to ice as the Chancellor rose from his chair. The shadows in the room seemed to bend toward him. Padme pressed her hand over her mouth to stifle a gasp. Palpatine's voice dropped to a whisper, dripping with dark promise. "The Jedi have lied to you, Anakin. They've kept secrets from you, held you back. But I have always seen your true potential." Anakin took a step forward. "You said you knew a way to stop death, to save Padme." Palpatine's smile widened. "I do, but such knowledge is not found in the Jedi archives. It is only through the dark side of the Force that one can achieve the power to cheat death." Padme's heart stopped. The dark side. No. This couldn't be happening. Anakin's voice cracked. You're a Sith Lord." Palpatine didn't deny it. He stood there, calm and composed, as if he'd just revealed the most natural thing in the world. "I am Darth Sidious," he said simply. "I have guided this galaxy through war, through chaos, all to bring about peace and order. And now, Anakin, I offer you the chance to save the one you love." Padme felt the world tilt beneath her. The Chancellor was the Sith Lord the Jedi had been hunting for years, the mastermind behind the Clone Wars, behind everything. And Anakin was listening. "I can teach you," Palpatine continued, his voice smooth as silk. "I can show you the path to the power you seek, but you must choose. The Jedi will never understand. They will let Padme die rather than break their precious code." Anakin's hands clenched into fists. His breathing was ragged, torn. I can't betray the Jedi." Palpatine stepped closer. "But you can let Padme die?" Silence. Padme's tears blurred her vision. She wanted to scream, to run in and pull Anakin away from this monster. But her legs wouldn't move. Anakin's voice was barely a whisper. "What do I have to do?" Palpatine's grin was triumphant. "Kneel." Anakin didn't kneel. He stood there, trembling, his fists clenched so tight his knuckles turned white. His breath came in short, desperate bursts. Palpatine waited, patient, predatory. I need time," Anakin stammered. This is too much." Palpatine's expression softened, but his eyes remained cold. "Time is the one thing you do not have, Anakin. Padme's life hangs by a thread. Every moment you hesitate, The vision you saw in your dreams draws closer to reality. Anakin flinched, as if struck. Padme could see the torment written across his face. He was breaking apart right in front of her. The Jedi would tell you to let go, Palpatine pressed. To accept loss. To surrender the woman you love to fate. Is that what you want? No, Anakin's voice cracked. I can't lose her. I won't. Then you know what you must do. But Anakin's feet remained rooted to the floor. His hand drifted toward his lightsaber, but he didn't ignite it. He didn't move toward Palpatine. He just stood there, torn. Padme's heart ached for him. She could see it now, the weight of his love for her, twisting into something dark and desperate. He would destroy himself to save her, and Palpatine knew it. I trained under Obi-Wan, Anakin whispered. He's my brother. The Jedi are my family. Palpatine's voice turned sharp. And yet they do not trust you. They sent you to spy on me. They fear your power, Anakin. They always have. Anakin's jaw clenched. The words hit their mark. Padme realized with sickening clarity that Palpatine had been manipulating Anakin for years. Every word, every gesture, designed to isolate him. To break him. And it was working. Anakin's hand hovered over his lightsaber again. Then the door behind Padme creaked. She'd leaned too hard against it. Both men turned. Padme stumbled forward into the light. Anakin. His face went white. Padme? What are you? I heard everything, she said, her voice trembling but firm. I followed you. I had to know. Palpatine's eyes gleamed with dark amusement. Ah, Senator Amidala, how fitting that you should join us. This moment concerns you more than anyone. Anakin stepped between them, his hand outstretched as if to shield her. Padme, you need to leave. Now. I'm not leaving you, she said. Her eyes locked on his. Not with him. Palpatine chuckled softly. How noble. But tell me, Senator, do you truly understand what is at stake? Anakin has seen your death. In his dreams, you die in childbirth. He has come to me because the Jedi refused to help him. Padme's breath hitched. She looked at Anakin, whose eyes were filled with anguish. Anakin, is that true? End quote. He nodded, his voice breaking. I can't lose you, Padme. I can't. Tears welled in her eyes. So you'd turn to him? To the Sith? I'd do anything to save you. Palpatine's voice cut through the air like a blade. And now, Anakin, you must choose. The Jedi will come for me soon. If you stand with them, I will be destroyed, and Padme's fate will be sealed. But if you stand with me, I will teach you the power to save her. The choice is yours. Padme stepped forward, her voice desperate. Anakin, please, don't do this. We'll find another way. There is no other way, Anakin shouted, his emotions boiling over. I've searched. I've begged the Jedi for help. They told me to let you go. Because they know the dark side will destroy you, Padme pleaded. I'd rather die than see you become a monster. Anakin's lightsaber ignited. The blue blade hummed between them. I won't let you die, he whispered. Palpatine smiled. Palpatine moved faster than thought. Blue lightning erupted from his fingertips, crackling toward Padme. She screamed. Anakin's lightsaber flashed. He intercepted the lightning, the blade absorbing the deadly energy. The force of it drove him to one knee, but he held firm. Stay away from her, Anakin roared. Palpatine's face twisted into a mask of fury. Foolish boy, you would throw away your only chance to save her? I'll find another way. The lightning intensified. Anakin gritted his teeth, struggling to hold the barrier between Palpatine and Padme. His muscles screamed. The dark side energy pressed against him, seductive and terrible. Padme scrambled backward, her heart pounding. "Anakin!" Palpatine's voice turned venomous. "You think you can defy me? I made you, Anakin. Without me, you are nothing." "I'm a Jedi," Anakin shouted back, rising to his feet. "And you're under arrest." Palpatine's laughter was cold and cruel. "So be it then. If you will not be my apprentice, you will die with her." The Sith Lord unleashed a torrent of Force lightning. Anakin deflected it, but the sheer power forced him back. The room filled with the smell of ozone and burning metal. Padme watched in horror as the two clashed. Palpatine was impossibly fast, his movements a blur of dark energy and rage. But Anakin fought with everything he had. For her, for the Jedi, for the man he wanted to be. But she could see it in his eyes, the darkness creeping in, the anger fueling his strength, the fear of losing her driving him closer to the edge. "Anakin, stop!" she cried. Anakin hesitated for a fraction of a second, and Palpatine struck. A wave of Force energy slammed into Anakin, hurling him across the room. He crashed into the wall and crumpled to the floor. Palpatine turned toward Padme, his eyes glowing yellow. "Now, my dear, you will watch him fall." But Anakin rose. Blood dripped from his mouth. His eyes burned with fury, and he charged. Anakin's blade pierced Palpatine's chest. The Dark Lord gasped, his yellow eyes wide with shock. For the first time, Darth Sidious looked mortal. You were supposed to join me," Palpatine choked out. Anakin's voice was cold. "I'll never join you." He twisted the blade. Palpatine convulsed once, then went still. The Sith Lord crumpled to the floor, dead. Silence filled the room. Padme stared, unable to breathe. Anakin had done it. He'd killed Palpatine. The war was over. The Sith were defeated. But when Anakin turned to face her, her blood ran cold. His eyes flickered, blue, then yellow, then blue again. "Anakin," she whispered. He stumbled toward her, his hand shaking. "It's over. You're safe." But his voice was wrong, hollow, strained. She reached for him, but he flinched away. "I felt it," he said, his voice barely audible. "When I struck him down, the dark side, it was so strong, Padme. I wanted to kill him. I enjoyed it." Tears streamed down her face. "But you stopped. You came back." "Did I?" Anakin looked down at his hands. They were still trembling. "I can still feel it. The anger, the power. It's inside me now." Padme stepped closer, gently taking his hands in hers. "Then we'll fight it. Together. We'll go to the Jedi. They'll help you." Anakin shook his head. "They'll cast me out, or worse. I killed the Chancellor, Padme. Even if he was Sidious, they'll see it as murder. They'll understand." "No," Anakin interrupted, his voice sharp. "They won't." Before Padme could respond, the sound of footsteps echoed in the corridor. Many footsteps. Anakin's head snapped toward the door. His hand went to his lightsaber. "The Jedi," he whispered. "They're coming." Padme's heart sank. The door burst open. Mace Windu stepped into the room, lightsaber ignited, ready for battle. He froze. Behind him, Kit Fisto, Agent Kolar, and Say-Teen stopped as well, their expressions shifting from readiness to shock. Palpatine's body lay sprawled on the floor, smoke still rising from the fatal wound, and standing over him, lightsaber in hand, was Anakin Skywalker. "Skywalker," Mace said slowly, his voice hard. "What have you done?" Anakin deactivated his blade. He was Sidious. I stopped him. Mace's eyes narrowed. You killed him. He attacked Padme. Anakin shot back, gesturing toward her. He was going to kill her. I had no choice. Mace glanced at Padme, who nodded quickly. It's true, Master Windu. Palpatine revealed himself as Darth Sidious. He tried to turn Anakin. When Anakin refused, he attacked us. Mace's gaze swept the room. The scorch marks on the walls, the shattered furniture, the lingering stench of DarkSide energy. And Anakin, standing at the center of it all, his face pale, his hands trembling. You were not authorized to act, Mace said coldly. You should have waited for the council. There was no time, Anakin protested. He was going to kill her. Or, Mace said quietly, you were angry, and you struck him down in rage. Anakin's jaw tightened. I did what I had to do. Mace stepped closer, his eyes boring into Anakin's. I can feel the dark side on you, Skywalker. It clings to you like a shadow. Anakin looked away. He couldn't meet Mace's gaze. I didn't want to, he whispered, but I felt it when I killed him. The anger, the hate, it felt powerful. The other Jedi exchanged uneasy glances. Mace's expression hardened. Then you are compromised, and you will answer to the council. No. Padme stepped forward. He saved my life. He saved the Republic. You can't punish him for that. Mace didn't look at her. His eyes stayed locked on Anakin. That remains to be seen. The Jedi Council chamber was silent. Anakin knelt in the center, his head bowed, his hands bound by force suppression cuffs. Around him, the council members sat in judgment. Mace Windu's voice was grave. Anakin Skywalker, you have admitted to striking down the Supreme Chancellor. You have confessed to feeling the pull of the dark side. The council must decide whether you can be trusted to remain a Jedi. Anakin said nothing. His guilt was suffocating, but Padme stood beside him, her chin raised defiantly. Masters, she said, her voice steady. Anakin saved my life. He resisted the Sith Lord's temptation. When Palpatine offered him everything, power, knowledge, the ability to save me, Anakin refused. He chose the light. Doesn't that count for something? Mace's expression didn't soften. He also killed an unarmed opponent. Unarmed? Padme's voice rose. Palpatine was Darth Sidious. He commanded the Separatist army. He orchestrated the deaths of billions. If Anakin hadn't stopped him, we would all be dead or enslaved. Yoda's ears twitched. Clouded. The future is. Much pain young Skywalker has caused, but also much good. Ki Adi Mundi spoke. The question is whether he can resist the dark side's call. The seed has been planted. It may yet take root. Padme turned to Anakin, her eyes pleading. Anakin, look at me. Slowly, he raised his head. His eyes were red, haunted. I know you're afraid, she said softly. I know you feel the darkness inside you, but I also know who you are. You're a good man, a kind man. You've saved countless lives. You've fought for justice, and you've always fought for those you love. Tears slipped down Anakin's face. I almost fell, Padme. I almost became him. But you didn't, she whispered, because you're stronger than he ever was. Anakin's breathing steadied. The yellow flicker in his eyes faded. He looked up at the council. I will do whatever it takes to prove myself. I swear it. Yoda nodded slowly. A chance we will give you, but watch you closely, we will. Mace said nothing, but he deactivated the cuffs. Outside, the galaxy burned. Palpatine's death had left a power vacuum. The Senate was in chaos. The clone army stood leaderless. And in the shadows, whispers of the Sith's return still lingered. The war was over, but the real battle had only just begun. And Padme watched, helpless, as Anakin Skywalker began to fall.